feels so good. I know you guys are there. Don't worry about it. Just give me like 30 more seconds. I'll be right there with you. How's it going, ladies and gentlemen? And to all of my listeners out there, I'm Cheetah2500, and welcome to Custom Critiques, another segment, of course, by yours truly. Now, you're probably wondering, what am I critiquing on this time? Well, if you noticed earlier, though, I was enjoying an automated massage from one of my early birthday presents this year. And yes, speaking of birthday, though, my birthday was yesterday, so for those of you that didn't know, happy belated birthday to me, of course. And for those that did know and has said that to me on the day of, thank you so much. I really appreciate this. And honestly, you guys really didn't have to do anything for me per se. You could have just treated this as a normal day, really. And for the folks that bought me this thing, though, and everything to try out and to enjoy, yes, thank you guys so much. And thanks to my family for supporting me on this as well. Okay, so this is what we call the Rimiking office/gaming chair, though, and I will show you it once I get up from here. Yeah, and let me lift this up so that way you can see the whole thing. There we go. Feel free to pause the video if you can't really see the whole thing, and yeah, let's get into the specifications of this chair. Alright, time for the specifications of the office gaming chair by Rimiking, of course. And for me to do that, though, I have to once again get up, of course. So, excuse me for a moment. Alright, first thing we're going to do is we're going to work our way from the top all the way to the bottom of the chair, just like I did in the last one. So, we're going to start with this nice lovely leather pillow here with the Rimiking logo here. So basically it's nice and leathery, nice and small, and is meant for, good neck posterior, so that way, your neck won't feel strained or sprained during your gaming performance, or if you're just, accessing a document from the office. Whatever you want, it's up to you. And of course, though, it's supported by a nice leather strap, which I could just detach, like so. And then I could just put back per se if I want to. Go. There we go, nice and easy. Now, if you're wondering what these other straps are for here, this is for the massage chair, the massage portion of the gaming chair, which I will pan this down right now. So you may not see it, initially per se, but if I show you it, it could be good. So this is like the massage portion, is automated. Basically, you can flip the switch like so, if I can grab that. Now, it's connected, via wire, all that stuff per se, though. And if you have a USB, per se, it comes with it as well. You can just connect it like this. And of course, you'll need a separate box plug with a USB jack in order to do this. And of course, though, basically, if it's just one switch, you could turn on. And I'll let you hear it so you can hum it. And of course, though, you could just press it again to switch it off. Real simple. Nice and simple. And of course, so we have these two lovely widened armrests, of course. And of course, this nice big and wide exterior butt portion of the chair, so for the big and wide like me. Good durable plastic, good durable leather. This thing ain't going nowhere. And speaking of not going anywhere, let me lift it up for you. So as you can see, it's supported by 5 long metal sticks with wheels on them. Basically like your office chair, you could 360 it, do all this and everything. And these 2 levers, which are like right next to it, though, basically the lock lever, which controls the the angle of the back wing of the chair, and of course the other lever, which represents, you know, the height of the chair. So to clarify, the one that's like perpendicular, that's like straight, is the lifting portion, and the one that's like down and stuff is the height, is the angle proportion of the chair. So I will demonstrate them both right here, right now. So in order, I'm going to demonstrate the lift chair. So if you go down, right next to you on your right, boom. You can just press it while you're sitting down to lower yourself, which is set at its highest. But if you want to lift yourself back up again, of course you have to stand up and adjust. Like that. And for the other one, you have to go a little bit lower, you know, to the other lever of the chair, and basically just pull up to release the locking mechanism, as you can see. And once you decide the height that you want, like say right here for example, push down and you should be good to go. So yeah, that's basically the it portion of the chair and all that stuff. I mean, it didn't take too long, of course. I mean, there's really is nothing, you know, much to show and all that stuff. And yes, I know that's idling, so no big deal. And yeah, I think that's about it though. So let's move on to the pros and cons of this chair. Okay, the pros and cons are here at last. But the question becomes, do the pros outweigh the cons? The answer is yes in this case though, and I will explain why though, which is for the very same reason which I am going to start with the cons first. So basically though, you know, the first con that I will tell you per se off the bat for sure is pretty much the annoying massage wire thing, which can get tangled through the bottom of the chair, as some of you may have already saw, of course. It's a small minor setback, which I have no problem dealing with and all that stuff. And yeah, that's pretty much it for that portion of it though. Now the next con though, which I will share with you, is this thing, it's really heavy and it can't really maneuver that well in tight spaces per se. Remember, this thing is designed to be durable and basically sturdy and long lasting, so it has to take that risk in order to provide the comfort which I needed, of course. And of course, you know, some of you guys may need should you decide to buy this, of course. And the third thing, which is like the biggest con of all though, and honestly though, my folks have told me about this and everything, so this is coming from their perspective per se, so for this one, is basically that chairs like these, they're very similar online, which of course makes it very difficult to pick out the one that suits your needs, of course. So basically there are several other companies that makes this similar model, of course. Basically, like, you know, different colors, different weight specifications, different parts. So you're gonna have to do a little compare shopping and of course do a little like specifications reading and all that stuff in order to find the ones that suit your needs, of course. So basically it's like, you know, weighing the pros and weighing the cons and all that stuff. So basically this is like more of a con per se though, because you could just mistakenly and of course easily order the wrong thing if you're not too careful. So please, if you're planning on buying an office gaming chair of this caliber and all that stuff, please read the specifications before you do so, okay? It can save your life in the long run. Alright, so I guess that's it for all the cons per se, so yeah, let's move on to the pros of it. Now, honestly though, the first pro that I can think of right off the bat though, is that it's nice and wide for big boys like me, of course. This is exactly the type of chair that I am looking for per se, and is good, long lasting, and it can hold my weight. Honestly, yes. Now the second con is that, you know, it's easily maneuverable. You know, you could 360 this thing all the way if you want to, of course. And yeah, basically though, you know, you could just like adjust and all that stuff and everything. And you could even turn up the height, you know, to play a game like this, which you achieve these up here, and you could just do like this, of course, and just, you know, play or whatever without straining your neck, of course. Or if you're on a coffee table like here, of course, you could just lower it down and then just, you know, do your little office work, like say, knows it. So basically, the height thing is good for any adjustable feature, of course. So I'm just gonna keep myself down for the rest of this. So yeah, that's really good though. And of course, basically the other pro that I can think of right off the bat though is that it looks nice and stylish though. I mean, it looks really cool in your living room. It stands out. You know, the appearance, it's excellent, of course. And it's got some good specifications. That's another pro that I'm gonna add in next though. You know, the pillow is good, the massage chair is good and everything. You know, everything is so easy to understand and all that stuff. And speaking of easy to understand though, if you're really good at reading instruction manuals, this is, I think, one of my biggest pros of all. Basically, the biggest pro is that you can build this thing all by yourself. It's really, really easy to build. If you're a strong person like me, that's no problem. But it will be even better if you have a partner with you or maybe a third person, you know, to help you with this along the way though. So for me though, to build this thing though, it took me at least maybe 20 minutes to read the instructions, you know, to figure out where the nuts and bolts go, where this specific screw does, where this thing goes. Basically, it just took me 20 minutes to assemble this thing. Not too long and everything. And it's just that I want to make sure that I take my time to build this thing accordingly, and of course to make sure that everything is secure and tight. So yeah, that's about it for the pros and cons and everything. And some of you are anxious to hear my final verdict of the chair. So yeah, let's move on to the final verdict. Alrighty, the moment you've been waiting for. That didn't take too long to get there, like I said before. But before I unveil the final verdict though, there is two more things that I have forgot to mention though. The first thing is what happened to my last gaming chair, and the second thing is basically why I have been away for so long, of course. So the first thing is that my gaming chair kind of got all worn and torn over the years. You know, it's basically all leather and everything, and it's like all the way to the ground and all that stuff. And yeah, it just got to a point where it became so uncomfortable that it was no longer sittable, if I can call it that. And yeah, I just had to like throw it out and just say my goodbyes to it, of course. I kept all the parts per se because I could still use them for like other things, of course. So I'm gonna miss my old, you know, gaming chair and everything. Hopefully it'll turn into something more useful, probably be a better use for someone else other than me, of course. And of course, the second reason why, the second update is that my birthday is this week and all that stuff, and basically decided to do like a little birthday week for me and all that stuff. You know, it's kind of like more than generous for my family and all that stuff to do that. And which is also the reason why I have been like away for so long, is because, you know, they were anticipating it, all this stuff. They just want to spend all this time with me. It's nice and really. Alright, so that's enough about that though. That's pretty much all the updates I can give you. So now I can give you the final verdict and everything. So I kept this thing for like almost a week and everything. You know, I took my time to deliberate, make sure to analyze every little thing though. And as I said before, the pros do outweigh the cons in this case though. So, whew, okay. So for my final verdict though, I'm just gonna give this a 4 out of 5 stars. It would have been a good 5 stars, you know, if it weren't for the wire and all that stuff. And of course, you know, if it could add maybe like one more little feature, maybe like a speaker somewhere in this bad boy and all this stuff, that would have been totally awesome. But beggars can't be choosers, so yeah, I'll take what I can get though. And yeah, even though that the chair is a little bit heavy though, I mean, I need it to be heavy in order to, you know, make it sustainable, make it last longer. And yeah, and last but not least though, you know, make sure that it holds me, a big boy. So yeah, I can't give it the LaCie official seal of approval because, you know, it didn't score the highest. So hopefully this is a really all-around good gaming chair that I will still definitely recommend this one because, you know, it's just right for me though. But if you find something else that's, you know, suiting your needs or whatever, then okay, great. At least I can give you like an idea or an inspiration to at least buy an office/gaming chair for yourself, so that way you could look cool in front of your friends and be the envy of your classmates and of your peers. So that's it for me. This has been Cheetah2500. Thank you all so much for tuning in and all that stuff. I know that you guys all enjoy this segment and all that stuff to basically show you what I have, basically share what I know, and yeah. Time for me to enjoy this bad boy, so if you all excuse me, I got some gaming to do.